It was early 2020 when the reports of COVID-19 first made their way to Cape Cod. With the opening of the new Falmouth Community Media Center that previous July, the facility was a hub of activity, with staff, members, and visitors alike enjoying the benefits of the new state-of-the-art facility. When the dangers of the pandemic became apparent, the center, just 8 months after its official grand opening, like businesses across the country, was closed to the public. Undeterred, FCTV immediately began a systematic process of evaluating our operations to ensure that all of the services and programming we provide would be sustainable and accessible through this crisis. Having adopted cloud-based technologies for much of our work already, we were well situated to further adapt our resources and workflow to continue to serve as Falmouth's communication hub. This preparation allowed us to deploy equipment, software, and procedures to remotely access all of our systems and continue producing and scheduling programs while maintaining everyone's safety and health. Despite the challenges, our 3 channels never missed a day of programming.
Public information is vital, whether during day-to-day non-emergencies or during a public health disaster such as the coronavirus pandemic. When the COVID-19 pandemic changed our lives, FCTV recognized that we had a critical role to play as our town's communications center. With the need for clear and concise health information, in March of 2020, FCTV approached Falmouth's health agent Scott McGann, offering to produce weekly COVID-19 updates. Agent McGann's updates delivered timely and detailed data on how the pandemic was specifically affecting our town and guidance on how to stay safe. FCTV also recognized that we could play an important role in serving our community by providing greater access to Governor Charlie Baker's daily COVID-19 briefings, which aired at unpredictable times. This was accomplished by offering replays on a consistent schedule on both our public and government channels multiple times each day. As an anxious community sought resources to make decisions and evaluate choices, they turned to FCTV to hear directly from government leaders and medical professionals. They also turned to FCTV to build connections, demonstrate care for one another, enjoy local entertainment, enrichment activities, and to take an active part in civic life. When the Falmouth High School graduation was canceled at the last minute, FCTV staff produced an entire virtual graduation ceremony, cablecast on Education Channel 14 and social media, so that students and their friends and families could celebrate this treasured milestone in their lives. Using the FCTV mobile production vehicle, FCTV staff also produced live coverage of Falmouth Academy's socially distanced in-person graduation ceremony on location. Poetic License, FCTV's monthly open mic poetry, music, and storytelling program, went virtual. Poetic License provided a valuable opportunity for our community to come together and have an outlet for their voices. The FCTV Government Access Team collaborated with the Town Veterans Services Department and veterans groups to ensure that our Memorial and Veterans Day celebrations could be held virtually. Collaborating with the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, FCTV safely pre-recorded and edited Falmouth's enduring community tradition, Holidays by the Sea. The events were then cablecast on FCTV's public channel so that our community could enjoy the events they cherish from the safety of their homes. FCTV assisted members of our faith community in distributing their weekly services through our public channel. In addition to these regular services, FCTV pre-recorded the 5 high holiday services of the Falmouth Jewish congregation, which were then cablecast and streamed on the holidays. Through FCTV, these services were also simulcast throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. To assist the town in its self-governance through the pandemic, FCTV provided exclusive election-related programming for residents, serving a vital role for town officials and departments, candidates, and voters. FCTV produced several voter information and poll safety video updates from Falmouth Town Clerk Michael Palmer. This information was essential in helping voters understand voting options, the mail-in ballot submission process, and safety precautions implemented at polling locations. To assist constituents in making informed voting decisions, FCTV's candidate statement programs provided a platform to local candidates. In partnership with the League of Women Voters of Falmouth, FCTV produced live virtual candidate forums, and FCTV's live election coverage, hosted by Troy Clarkson and Jay Zavala, went virtual to provide residents with the results as soon as the ballots were counted. FCTV's government access team provided unparalleled service to the town in 2020, ensuring that Falmouth had an unfiltered, gavel-to-gavel view of their municipal government in action. We delivered the means for the town of Falmouth to satisfy open meeting law requirements and maintain transparency in government with live coverage of town meeting, Select Board, Planning Board, Conservation Commission, Zoning Board of Appeals, School Committee, Water Quality Management Committee, and more. The FCTV Educational Access Department played a critical role in sharing school activities with parents and families unable to attend the myriad of athletic, arts, educational, and other events that are so important to the growth and experiences of our young people. Along with bi-monthly school committee meetings, programming included student performances, virtual award ceremonies, school seminars, virtual school tours, college planning, student transition sessions, community meetings, and graduation ceremonies. Technology played a vital role in helping our community navigate the pandemic. To this end, FCTV created a redesigned curriculum for online learning that allowed attendees of all ages to continue to learn new media and software skills from their own homes. These classes gave participants the skills needed to produce programming and stay connected through the lockdowns and restrictions. In 2020, FCTV offered 79 classes to a total of 268 participants. FCTV's commitment to our youth continued through the pandemic, offering opportunities for our youth to learn valuable media literacy, animation, storytelling, teamwork, and production skills. These youth initiatives, along with our internship program, provide our young people with opportunities for career exploration and growth. FCTV had 482 members in 2020, 45 family, 287 individual, and 150 organizational, representing a total of 62 organizations. FCTV members stepped up, producing informative and entertaining local programming during the pandemic. Members were able to tell their stories and get their messages out, utilizing FCTV's Public Channel 13. Much of the member-produced programming came from organizations and groups such as the College Light Opera Company, WCAI, No Place for Hate Falmouth, Arts Falmouth, Falmouth Academy, the Falmouth Road Race, Woods Hole Historical Museum, the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, the Catholic Community of Falmouth, St. Barnabas' Episcopal Church, the Wacoit Congregational Church, John Wesley United Methodist Church, Museums on the Green, the Falmouth Public Library, Belonging to Each Other, the League of Women Voters of Falmouth, and Encore of Falmouth Newcomers. Other member-produced programs, such as Troy Clarkson's Falmouth Cares Business Roundtable and Conversations with Barbara, hosted by Barbara Canelopoulos, connected businesses and families with essential services and information on COVID-19 regulations and resources. FCTV increased staff productions to meet the demand for hyper-local programming to keep our town connected to its essential cultural, spiritual, and educational traditions. FCTV's twice-monthly magazine program, Falmouth in Focus, and short-format news segments, FCTV Exclusives, after a brief hiatus, returned in June 2020, serving as a vehicle for direct communications with the public. To open dialogue on matters of racial justice and provide anti-bias education, FCTV, in partnership with the Reverend Will Mevin and Angela Scott Price, presented a new monthly program entitled The Conversation. To help keep Falmouth residents, businesses, and organizations connected through the isolation of lockdown, FCTV initiated a threefold outreach effort, collectively entitled FCTV Cares. These initiatives included sharing our stories, a streamlined method for members of our community to create their own programs as a means of communicating with their neighbors and contributing to a time capsule of oral histories. Community Conversations, a weekly virtual get-together hosted by FCTV CEO Deborah Rogers, an opportunity for the community to share experiences, information, and feel connected. Supporting our businesses. Realizing that our local business community was critically affected by the restrictions of the pandemic, we provided an avenue for small businesses in our community to describe the adaptations they were making to safely serve their patrons. More than ever before, FCTV provided an indispensable means for residents to stay informed and for organizations to reach their constituents. With our members, FCTV broadcast 1,569 hours of first-run programming, documenting and connecting our community, offering a timeless video repository of Falmouth's response to the historical crisis as it unfolded.
FCTV has been a great partner for Highfield Hall and Gardens. They have helped us broadcast our events. We have a lot of events, a lot of programming, concerts, and so forth. And as a nonprofit, we definitely rely on our partners in the community to help us get the word out, and they've been an invaluable partner for us.
They are a platform for a terrific outreach for the community to highlight the myriad of programs and people and special events in Falmouth that make Falmouth such a special place to be.
It's so important that we have transparency and public engagement, and Falmouth in Focus and FCTV is all about creating that transparency, engaging Falmouth citizens in the government and in their communities.
I am getting feedback from a lot of the veterans that enjoy seeing themselves on TV and for their family to see them doing things. FCTV has played a big role in helping veterans.
FCTV has been a phenomenal partner with the Falmouth Police Department as far as getting our message out about the police department. It's a great way for this department to share with the community what's going on, and to have the avenue of FCTV to get that message out for us has been phenomenal.
FCTV is really the gold standard for coverage of Town of Falmouth governmental events.
So my hat's off to FCTV for engaging our community, for engaging our volunteers, for making government more open and transparent, and making sure that individuals have the opportunity to tell their stories on community television.
There's really all sorts of opportunities here at FCTV, and they're really state-of-the-art, and it's just a fantastic thing to have in our community. I think Falmouth is pretty lucky with that.
When FCTV came into existence in 1992, it's inconceivable that anyone could have predicted the role community television would play in the year 2020. With a tremendous leap of faith, our founders and the town of Falmouth established FCTV, Falmouth's own media organization, and in doing so ensured our community was well prepared to meet the communications needs presented by the pandemic. Through the lens of our cameras, we have seen how our townspeople have responded through these challenging times, reaching out to help each other with compassion, bravery, and a spirit of generosity and collaboration. We are proud to serve as Falmouth's Community Media Center and hopeful for bright days ahead.